According to the head of the World Health Organization, RSF fighters killed 460 patients and their companions on Tuesday at Saudi Hospital in the city of El-Fasher. Witnesses also reported that RSF fighters went from house to house, beating and shooting at people, including women and children. Many reportedly died of gunshot wounds in the streets. RSF Commander Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hemedti, on Wednesday said an investigation had been opened into the violations.
The investigative committee shall immediately start to investigate and hold accountable any soldier or officer who committed a crime or crossed the line against any person. They will immediately be arrested, and the result of the investigation will be announced publicly in front of everyone.
Activists and right groups have alleged that recent RSF gains in central Sudan and in Darfur have been accompanied by hundreds of civilian deaths. The RSF also took over the strategic city of Bara in the central state of North Kordofan over the weekend. The International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies said 5 of its volunteers were killed in the city on Monday while distributing food and wearing official vests. 2 other volunteers were still missing.
It's unacceptable because killing a humanitarian, bombarding an ambulance, is blocking a food distribution operation as it happened in North Kordofan means weakening entire communities and having communities and people who will not get what they need.
2.5 years of fighting for control of Sudan have created what the UN has rated as the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Over 14 million people are now displaced. El-Fasher is facing starvation, with the UN declaring famine in displacement camps across the city. The paramilitary's victory in El-Fasher after an 18-month siege consolidates its control of Darfur. Analysts say the RSF may use the momentum to try to expand its territory. Wilkis-Anyabwa, CGTN.
Let's now get the very latest from our correspondent Naba Moordeen live in Port Sudan. Naba, thanks for joining us. Naba, uncertainty looms with fears of more attacks in El-Fasher. What are you hearing, and how are people coping right now as the RSF is in control?
Thank you, Richard. Actually, since El-Fasher was controlled by the RSF, very few information and reports are coming out, but there is also verification by many organizations, including different UN agencies, WHO, WFP, and UNICEF, of course. So right now we are hearing that there is hostages. The RSF are holding hostages inside El-Fasher city, and people who are trying to flee from El-Fasher city. And also there is hostages from medical staff who were working with different aid groups. So right now the situation in El-Fasher is still worrying. There is a blackout of communication. People are still trying to flee, and some people succeeded in reaching Tawila town, western El-Fasher. More than 850 families arrived there, and there is expectations that the number of people is getting higher, but of course it's so difficult to predict whether the passages people can flee and the passages can be secured, because RSF apparently controlling all of the city's main routes. So the situation is beyond dire in El-Fasher. We are seeing videos every hour of brutal killings inside different buildings in El-Fasher, including the Saudi hospital. Also there is videos inside some faculties in El-Fasher and some government buildings. There is summer executions are going on, but we are awaiting for verification reports from different aid organizations and observers who are monitoring the situation in El-Fasher worryingly. So right now families are trying to reach Tawila amid very deteriorating humanitarian situation and catastrophic situation in El-Fasher and in Tawila as well.
Well, Naba, despite the ongoing violence that you've mentioned, the leader of the RSF, Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, is urging those who fled to return back to El-Fasher. How has this been received?
Actually, people are reacting to this in different ways because it's so obvious that this is RSF approach since the war erupted in April 2023, and since they were controlling vast or big areas in different areas in Sudan, including the capital Khartoum, Central Sudan, Al Jazeera State, and parts of White and Blue Nile State. So the approach is to deny all of the crimes and all accusations against them, to tell people to come back so they can tell the world that they can deny crimes, and they can, of course, say the narratives against them are wrong. So this is so RSF approach. They are denying all of the accusations and crimes, but now it can't be denied because all of the world watch the brutal killings and the genocides and the cleansing that the RSF is doing in Al-Fasher. And actually this time, Richard, it's documented by their members, it's documented by militants who are proudly showing people how they are cleansing the Darfur people, they are cleansing people in Al-Fasher and non-Arab tribes in Al-Fasher. So this time, this speech and statement by Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, of course, it's going to diffuse the world that is watching news, sadly, and all of the condemnation by the international blocs and many countries, and of course, human rights organizations. So this speech to tell people that all of the crimes are not true, but unfortunately this time it's documented by their militants, by their members, and also by observers who are showing by satellite some videos showing and of course images showing brutal killings and showing summer executions and blood in the streets of Al-Fasher. So of course this statement cannot be believed by the RSF leader Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, and people are not responding to it. Actually, people are trying to flee Al-Fasher and are trying to save their lives.